What if the greatest storms you will ever face are not in the world, but within your own heart? And what if the secret to becoming truly unshakable lies not in calming those storms, but in learning to be the calm within them? This is the ancient path to indestructible peace. 10 Habits of Emotionally Unshakable Men. Stoicism. Compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Steady heart amid life's noise. Picture a deep and ancient lake, nestled amongst towering mountains. On its surface, the wind may create ripples, rain may fall, and leaves may drift across it. But in its profound depths, there is an absolute stillness, a heavy calm that has remained undisturbed for centuries. This is the image of a steady heart, a soul that maintains its core tranquility regardless of the fleeting disturbances on the surface of life. For most of us, however, our inner world is not this deep lake, but a shallow puddle, turned to mud by the slightest rain. We exist in a state of constant inner conflict, our emotions tossed about by the noise of the world, the blare of breaking news, the pressure of work deadlines, the anxieties of social obligations, and the endless chatter of the digital world. This state of inner chaos is a pervasive problem. When our hearts are unsteady, we are easily thrown off balance. We become reactive, making poor decisions based on fleeting emotions and external pressures. We live with a low-grade hum of anxiety. Our energy is constantly drained by the effort of trying to manage the endless surface ripples, and we lose touch with the profound stillness that is our birthright. The transformative solution offered by the ancient Stoics is the conscious and daily cultivation of this steady heart. It is the habit of building your own inner lake, so deep and so vast that the chaos of the world can only ever disturb its surface, never its core. The core idea behind this practice is the radical Stoic understanding of inner freedom. True peace is not something you find when the world finally becomes quiet. It is something you build within yourself that makes the world's noise irrelevant. It is the realization that while you cannot control the winds of fortune, you are the absolute master of your inner depths. To begin this sacred work, you must become a student of your own stillness. The first actionable step is to practice the art of deliberate pause. For 5 minutes each morning, before the noise begins, sit in silence. Do nothing but feel your own presence, your own breath. This is not about emptying your mind, but about observing the surface without being swept away. The second step is to choose your focus. Throughout the day, consciously decide what information and what energy you allow into your sacred inner space. You are the gatekeeper. The third step is to use the noise itself as your training. When chaos erupts, see it as an opportunity to practice returning to your center, to the feeling of that deep, silent lake within you. By consistently practicing this habit, you will fundamentally change your relationship with the world. You will no longer be a victim of circumstance, but a calm observer. Your heart will become a source of quiet strength and stability, not just for you, but for everyone around you. You will make better decisions, feel less anxiety, and move through life with a grace and composure that seems almost superhuman. Your motivational exercise is to begin today. Find a moment, even just 3 minutes, to close your eyes and visualize that deep, still lake within you. Feel its calm, its depth, its unshakable peace. Make this feeling your home, the place you can always return to, no matter how hard the wind blows. This steady heart is the foundation upon which an unshakable life is built. But this inner stillness is often threatened by a powerful external force, our deep-seated and very human need for the approval of others. Now, we must learn how to sever these chains and find true freedom. If you are committed to finding your inner calm, please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to Stoic Power. Lesson 2. Freedom from needing approval. Imagine the sun as it hangs in the sky. It burns with a magnificent, life-giving fire, radiating light and warmth in all directions. It does not ask the planets for permission to shine, nor does it dim its light if a passing cloud obscures it from view. The sun shines because that is its nature. It is a perfect emblem of a soul that is free from the need for approval. Yet, how many of us live our lives not as the sun, but as a small candle flickering desperately in the wind? our flame growing brighter with a word of praise and threatening to go out with a breath of criticism? This inner conflict is exhausting. We find ourselves constantly modifying our behavior, softening our opinions, and hiding our authentic selves in a ceaseless campaign to win the validation of others. This desperate need for approval is a profound problem because it is a self-imposed prison. When your sense of worth is outsourced to the opinions of others, you are no longer the master of your own life. You become a slave to perceptions, a chameleon changing colors to please an ever-shifting audience. This makes true happiness and self-respect impossible, as you can never please everyone, and in trying to do so, you betray the one person who matters most, yourself. The transformative solution is a declaration of emotional independence. It is the Stoic habit of anchoring your self-worth not in the shifting sands of public opinion, but in the indestructible bedrock of your own character and your commitment to living a virtuous life. This habit is built on the core Stoic principle, known as the dichotomy of control. The Stoics taught that we must learn to differentiate between what is within our power and what is not. The opinions, judgments, and approval of other people are fundamentally outside of our control. Our own thoughts, our own actions, and our own character, however, are entirely within our control. The unshakable man, therefore, places all of his self-worth in the quality of his own actions, not in the applause they may or may not receive. To begin this journey to freedom, you must first define your own terms of success. The first actionable step is to take out a journal and write down the virtues that define the man you want to be. Honesty, courage, discipline, kindness. This is your new scorecard. The second step is to consciously act in alignment with these values, especially when it is difficult. Make the honest choice, even if it's unpopular. Be kind, even when it goes unnoticed. The third step is to become your own validator. At the end of each day, review your actions against your own code of conduct, not against the feedback you received from the world. The benefits of cultivating this habit are nothing short of liberation. You will feel an immense weight lift from your shoulders. The fear of judgment and criticism will lose its power over you. You will begin to act with a new level of authenticity and courage, speaking your truth and living your values without apology. This genuine self-possession is not arrogant. It is a quiet, powerful confidence that is immensely attractive and earns you a deeper, more authentic form of respect. Your call to action is to identify one person or group whose approval you actively seek. For the next week, your mission is to make one decision in that context that is based purely on your own values, regardless of what you think their reaction will be. Take your first step out of the prison of public opinion. Once you are free from the need for external approval, you gain the clarity to work on your own internal reactions. The next great challenge is to become the master of your own emotional world, to ensure that no person or event can hijack your inner peace. We must now turn inward and learn the art of mastering our emotional triggers. We invite you to share one value you are committed to living by in the comments below. Lesson 3. Mastery over emotional triggers. Consider a bomb disposal expert. Faced with a complex and dangerous device, he does not approach it with panic or frantic energy. Instead, he is a portrait of calm, focused intensity. He carefully examines the device, understands its mechanics, and with a steady hand, systematically disarms the trigger mechanism, rendering the entire device inert. This is how the unshakable man learns to approach his own emotions. For most people, however, the inner world is a minefield. We live with a constant inner conflict, walking on eggshells around our own emotional triggers. A thoughtless comment, a stressful situation, or an unmet expectation can act as a pressure plate, setting off an explosive chain reaction of anger, anxiety, or despair that derails our entire day. This state of emotional reactivity is a critical problem because it makes us unreliable, first to ourselves and then to others. When you are at the mercy of your triggers, you are not in control of your life. Your peace, your focus, and your decisions are hijacked by fleeting passions. This instability prevents you from building a life of consistent purpose and erodes the trust others have in you. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of becoming a master technician of your own mind. It is the practice of identifying, understanding, and consciously disarming your emotional triggers before they have a chance to detonate. The core idea behind this mastery is the profound Stoic insight that it is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. The trigger is not the external event itself. The trigger is the story we tell ourselves about the event. The disrespectful driver, the unfair boss, the insulting comment, these are all judgments, not facts. The unshakable man learns to pause between the event and his judgment, and in that sacred pause, he finds his freedom. To become this master of your inner world, you must adopt a three-step process. The first step is identification. You must become a student of your own reactions. When you feel a strong negative emotion, do not get lost in it. Instead, get curious. Ask, what specific thought or story just triggered this feeling? The second step is interrogation. Once you have identified the judgmental thought, you must question it like a skeptical detective. Is this story 100% true? Is there another, more rational way to interpret this event? Does believing this story serve me? The third step is reframing. Consciously choose a new, more rational, and more empowering judgment. Replace, "he is disrespecting me," with, "he is acting according to his own character. It has nothing to do with my worth." The benefit of this habit is the gift of true emotional freedom. You will no longer be a victim of your own automatic reactions. You will develop a calm, steady presence, able to navigate difficult situations and challenging people with grace and wisdom. Your relationships will improve, and your ability to focus on your goals will skyrocket, as your mental energy will no longer be wasted on putting out emotional fires. Your motivational exercise is a practice called Name It to Tame It. The next time you feel a powerful emotion beginning to rise, simply and silently label it in your own mind. This is anger. This is frustration. This is anxiety. This simple act of naming creates a space between you and the emotion, turning you from a participant into an observer, which is the first step to disarming the trigger. As you gain mastery over your triggers, you will naturally begin to draw your strength from a deeper and more reliable source. You will stop looking outside for stability and start building it within. This leads us to the next essential habit, building a life founded on radical self-reliance. Please take a moment to like this video if you're finding value, and subscribe to Stoic Power to continue your journey. Lesson 4. Strength built on self-reliance. Picture a deep well, sunk into the earth. During times of drought, when shallow streams run dry, this well continues to provide cool, clear water. Its source is not the fleeting rain on the surface, but the vast hidden aquifers deep within the earth. It is self-reliant. This is the nature of the emotionally unshakable man. His strength, his happiness, and his sense of worth are drawn from his own deep inner resources. In contrast, many of us are conditioned to live like shallow streams, dependent on the constant rain of external support, validation, and solutions. This creates an inner conflict where we feel a deep sense of vulnerability, a fear that if the external sources run dry, if a relationship ends, if a job is lost, if no one is there to help, we will be left with nothing. This dependence is a serious problem because it cultivates weakness and fragility. When you constantly rely on others to solve your problems, to regulate your emotions, and to provide your happiness, you are neglecting to develop your own capabilities. You are, in effect, outsourcing your own strength. This leaves you perpetually at the mercy of circumstances and the goodwill of others. The Stoic transformative solution is the habit of cultivating autarkeia, or self-reliance. It is the conscious decision to become your own well, to systematically develop the inner resources needed to meet the challenges of life with your own strength and ingenuity. The core idea is not that one should reject help or isolate oneself from others. The Stoics were deeply social. Rather, it is the belief that a man should first and foremost be a fully capable, self-sufficient unit. He should be able to rely on his own reason, his own character, and his own skills to navigate the world. His relationships then become a partnership of two whole, capable individuals, not a codependent relationship of two needy halves. To build this foundation of self-reliance, you must begin to see challenges as opportunities. The first actionable step is to deliberately take on tasks you would normally delegate or avoid. Learn to fix something that is broken, to cook your own meals, to manage your own finances. Each skill you master is another stone lining the walls of your own inner well. The second step is to learn to sit with and solve your own emotional discomfort. Instead of immediately calling a friend when you feel anxious or lonely, sit with the feeling. Explore it. Ask what it is trying to teach you. Learn to be your own counselor. The third step is to become your own source of motivation. Stop waiting for an external push to pursue your goals. Cultivate the inner drive to do what is necessary, simply because it is the right thing to do. The transformation that comes from this habit is profound. You will develop a deep and abiding confidence in your own ability to handle life. The fear of being alone will evaporate, replaced by a quiet enjoyment of your own company and capability. You will become a pillar of strength, a person others can truly rely on because you are so firmly reliant on yourself. Your call to action is to choose one small problem or inconvenience you face this week that you would normally ask for help with or ignore. Your mission is to solve it entirely on your own. Research the solution, acquire the tools, and see it through to completion. Experience the deep satisfaction of your own competence. This newfound self-reliance will inevitably be tested, not just by life's random events, but in our interactions with others, especially in moments of disagreement and conflict. To remain unshakable, we must learn to bring a unique form of clarity to these challenging moments. We will now explore this crucial habit. We invite you to share one skill you are committed to learning in the comments to inspire our community of self-reliant men. Lesson 5. Clarity in moments of conflict. Imagine a grandmaster of chess, seated at the board in the final, critical moments of a world championship. The pressure is immense, the clock is ticking, and a single wrong move means certain defeat. Yet, the grandmaster is an island of calm. He is not focused on the fear of losing or the glory of winning. His mind is a lens of pure clarity, objectively assessing the position of every piece on the board, calculating dozens of moves ahead and seeing the hidden patterns in the chaos. This is how the unshakable man approaches moments of conflict. For most, however, conflict triggers a state of inner turmoil. When faced with a disagreement, an argument, or a confrontation, our vision becomes clouded by ego, anger, and fear. We stop listening, we focus on winning rather than understanding, and we often say things that escalate the situation and cause lasting damage. This lack of clarity in conflict is a significant problem. It destroys relationships, hinders professional progress, and shatters our own inner peace. When we are blinded by emotion, we are incapable of rational thought or effective problem solving. We react from our most primitive instincts, not from our highest reason, and the results are almost always destructive. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of seeking clarity above all else. It is the practice of stepping back from the emotional fray, detaching from your ego, and viewing the situation with the cool, objective eye of a strategist. The core idea is that in any conflict, there are two battles being fought: the external battle over the issue at hand, and the internal battle against your own passions. The Stoic knows that the internal battle is the only one that truly matters. By winning the battle for your own clarity and composure, you put yourself in the best possible position to navigate the external conflict effectively and virtuously. To cultivate this clarity, you must train yourself in 3 mental disciplines. The first is to actively listen to understand, not to rebut. When the other person is speaking, your entire goal should be to comprehend their position so well that you could argue it for them. This immediately de-escalates the situation. The second step is to practice what the Stoics called the view from above. In your mind, imagine yourself floating up and looking down on the situation from a distance. See yourself and the other person as 2 small figures. This imaginative act detaches you from your ego and puts the problem in perspective. The third step is to separate the person from the problem. Address the issue at hand, not the character of the person you are in conflict with. The benefits of this habit are immense. You will gain a reputation as a wise, fair, and level-headed person. You will find that you can resolve disagreements constructively, often strengthening relationships in the process. Most importantly, you will be able to navigate even the most heated conflicts without losing your inner peace. Your conflicts will become opportunities for growth and understanding, not sources of stress and regret. Your motivational practice for this week is to enter your next disagreement with a single new goal: to be able to summarize the other person's point of view to their complete satisfaction before you even state your own. This practice alone will revolutionize how you handle conflict. This clarity in conflict is a direct result of a deeper, underlying habit that governs all of a man's actions. It is the bedrock on which a stable and purposeful life is built. This is the habit of discipline, not as a punishment, but as a daily foundation for greatness. If you are finding this guide helpful, please like the video and subscribe to Stoic Power for more practical wisdom. Lesson 6. Discipline as daily foundation. Think of the foundation of a great skyscraper. It is not the most glamorous part of the building. It is not seen or admired by the public. It is the dark, silent, and immensely strong base buried deep in the earth upon which the entire soaring structure depends. Without this solid foundation, the building would collapse at the first strong wind. This is the role of discipline in the life of an unshakable man. It is his unseen daily foundation. And yet, so many of us are in a state of inner conflict, trying to build a tall and impressive life on a weak and inconsistent foundation. We chase fleeting motivation, we work only when we feel like it, and we wonder why our grand ambitions so often crumble into dust. This lack of a disciplined foundation is a fundamental problem. An undisciplined life is a life built on sand. It is unstable, unreliable, and incapable of supporting any significant long-term achievement. Without the habit of daily discipline, we are at the mercy of our moods, our whims, and our fleeting desires. We lack the structural integrity to withstand the inevitable pressures and temptations of life. The transformative solution is to stop viewing discipline as a mood or a personality trait, and to start treating it as the Stoics did, as a non-negotiable daily practice, the very bedrock of a good life. It is the habit of doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. The core idea is that discipline is not about punishment or self-denial. It is the ultimate act of self-love. It is the choice to sacrifice the fleeting pleasure of the moment for the lasting fulfillment of your long-term goals. Each small act of discipline is a declaration that your future self is more important than your present comfort. It is the daily process of laying one more stone for the foundation of the man you wish to become. To build this unshakable foundation, you must start small and build consistently. The first actionable step is to choose your morning, win the first hour of the day. Before you check your phone or let the world's agenda rush in, dedicate that first hour to an act of discipline, exercise, meditation, reading, or deep work. Starting your day with a victory sets the tone for everything that follows. The second step is to identify your most important task for the day and do it first. This practice, often called eating the frog, builds momentum and ensures that you accomplish what truly matters, even if the rest of the day goes astray. The third step is to create a not-to-do list. Be as clear about what you will not do, what distractions you will avoid, what time-wasting activities you will shun, as you are about what you will do. By making discipline your daily foundation, you will build a life of incredible strength and momentum. You will develop a deep and powerful sense of self-trust, because you will have proven to yourself, day after day, that you are a man of your word. The struggle with procrastination will fade, replaced by a quiet and consistent effectiveness. You will build a skyscraper of a life, capable of reaching great heights because its foundation is solid. Your call to action is to choose your one foundational stone. What is one small, non-negotiable act of discipline you can lay down every single morning for the next 7 days? It could be making your bed, doing 10 push-ups, or reading 2 pages of a book. Commit to it in the comments below. This disciplined foundation gives you the strength to face challenges from within. But what happens when the challenge comes from other people, when they test your patience and provoke your emotions? The unshakable man must also be a master of patience. We will now explore how to remain calm and centered, even when provoked. Don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Power, where we help you build your life on a foundation of rock. Lesson 7. Patience when provoked by others. Imagine an ancient master gardener tending to a bonsai tree. With meticulous care, he snips a tiny leaf here, wires a small branch there. He is the embodiment of calm, focused patience. He does not yell at the tree to grow faster, nor does he become enraged if a branch grows in an unexpected direction. He understands that growth is a slow, organic process, and that his role is to guide it with a steady, patient hand. This is the mindset of the unshakable man when he is provoked by the unpredictable actions of others. But for most of us, this is an area of intense inner conflict. When someone cuts us off in traffic, makes a rude comment, or fails to meet our expectations, our patience snaps. We are instantly triggered into anger and frustration, allowing another person's behavior to shatter our inner peace. This lack of patience is a significant problem because it gives away our power. The moment you allow another person's actions to provoke an uncontrolled emotional reaction in you, you have become their puppet. You have handed them the strings to your own inner state. A man who is easily provoked is a man who is easily controlled, and he can never be the master of his own life. The transformative solution is the cultivation of Stoic patience, which is not a passive waiting, but an active, understanding, and strategic form of wisdom. The core idea behind this powerful habit is rooted in the Stoic belief that most people do not act badly out of malice, but out of ignorance. They are like the bonsai branch growing in the wrong direction. They are simply acting according to their own flawed understanding of the world. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to begin each day by expecting to meet arrogant, selfish, and ignorant people. He did this not to become cynical, but to avoid being surprised or provoked. He understood that their behavior was a reflection of their inner world, not an attack on his. To cultivate this godlike patience, you must first practice perspective. The first actionable step is, when provoked, to silently remind yourself, this person is acting from their own set of beliefs and perceptions. Their actions are a product of their world, not mine. This creates immediate emotional distance. The second step is the strategic pause. When you feel the heat of anger rising, you must impose a 10-second pause before you speak or act. In these 10 seconds, your higher rational mind has a chance to come back online. The third step is to choose your response based on your own values, not in reaction to their provocation. Will you meet their anger with more anger or with calm, detached reason? The choice is always yours. The benefits of mastering this habit are profound. You will find that you can move through the world with a new sense of calm and immunity. The small annoyances and provocations of daily life will cease to have any power over you. You will preserve your precious mental and emotional energy for your own goals, rather than wasting it on pointless anger. You will become a source of calming strength in any situation, earning the deep respect of those around you. Your practice exercise is to use every single provocation this week as a training session. Every time you feel that flash of anger or impatience with someone, see it as a bell ringing, reminding you to practice your pause, to practice perspective, and to practice choosing a response worthy of the man you are becoming. Patience allows us to handle the small daily provocations of life. But what about the great storms? What about the major setbacks and failures that threaten to break our spirit entirely? To be truly unshakable, we must learn to be resilient. We will now explore the art of turning setbacks into strength. If these lessons are helping you, please like the video and share it with a friend who could benefit. Lesson 8. Resilience through life's setbacks. In Japan, there is an ancient art form called kintsugi. When a beautiful piece of pottery is broken, it is not thrown away. Instead, the broken pieces are carefully reassembled, and the cracks are filled with a lacquer mixed with powdered gold. The result is a piece of pottery that is not just repaired, but is considered even more beautiful and valuable because it was broken. The lines of gold tell the story of its history, its damage, and its recovery. This is the perfect metaphor for Stoic resilience. And yet, for most of us, when we experience a major setback in life, a failure, a loss, a broken heart, our instinct is to see ourselves as permanently damaged and diminished. We are consumed by an inner conflict between the desire to get back up and the overwhelming feeling that we are now flawed and weaker than before. This perspective is a deeply painful problem. When we see setbacks as purely negative events that diminish our worth, we become afraid to take risks. We are haunted by our past failures, and they can paralyze our future actions. We lose our confidence and momentum, and we can get stuck in a cycle of shame and regret, believing that our best days are behind us. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of a kintsugi master for your own life. It is the Stoic habit of viewing every setback, every failure, and every scar not as a source of shame, but as an opportunity to rebuild yourself with gold, to become stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than you were before. This powerful habit is built on the core Stoic idea of amor fati, a love of one's fate. The unshakable man does not just tolerate his setbacks, he embraces them as a necessary and vital part of his journey. He understands that just as muscles grow stronger by being broken down in the gym, his character is forged in the fires of adversity. The obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is the way. To practice this art of resilience, you must first learn to reframe your narrative. The first actionable step after a setback is to allow yourself to feel the initial pain, but then to consciously shift your focus. Ask not, why did this happen to me? But what is this trying to teach me? The second step is to search for the gold. Actively look for the lessons, the strength, and the opportunities that are hidden within the failure. What new skills can you learn? What new compassion can you develop? How can this experience serve your future self? The third step is to take action. Use the energy from your newfound perspective to rebuild, to try again, but this time with the wisdom and strength gained from the break. The man who lives by this habit becomes anti-fragile. He is not just resilient, able to bounce back to his original state. He is improved by chaos and failure. His past setbacks are not scars he tries to hide, but golden seams he displays with pride, testaments to the battles he has endured and won. He moves through life with a fearless spirit, knowing that nothing can truly break him, because anything that breaks him will only be an opportunity to rebuild with gold. Your call to action is to look back at a recent setback or failure in your life. Take out a journal and write down 3 ways in which that specific experience, viewed through the lens of kintsugi, has the potential to make you a stronger, wiser, or more compassionate person. Find the gold in your own cracks. This resilience, this ability to turn failure into fuel, is what builds a truly deep and unshakable form of confidence. It is a confidence that is not based on a perfect track record, but on the knowledge that you can handle imperfection. Now we must explore this final form of confidence. Remember to subscribe to Stoic Power, where we teach you to mend your breaks with gold. Lesson 9. Confidence that cannot be shaken. Imagine a great granite mountain. It does not need to announce its presence. It does not need the validation of the passing clouds or the approval of the forest at its base. It simply exists. Its massive, solid presence is a fact, not an opinion. Its confidence is not a feeling it tries to generate. It is an inherent quality of its very nature. This is the confidence of the emotionally unshakable man. This stands in stark contrast to the fragile, ego-based confidence that most people chase. We are often caught in an inner conflict, trying to build our confidence on a foundation of external achievements. Our job title, our bank account, the car we drive, our success with women. The problem with this approach is that anything external can be taken away. When your confidence is tied to your job, you are destroyed if you get fired. When it is tied to your wealth, you are terrified of a market crash. When it is tied to the approval of others, it is as unstable as the weather. This is not true confidence. It is a temporary and anxious state of ego inflation. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of building your confidence on the one thing that can never be taken from you, the quality of your own character. It is the decision to become the mountain, solid and unmovable, regardless of the changing seasons of external fortune. The core idea is that virtue is the sole good. This is perhaps the most central and powerful claim in all of Stoic philosophy. It means that true worth, and therefore true confidence, comes only from our commitment to living a life of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Everything else is external and ultimately indifferent. The confidence of the unshakable man is the quiet, internal knowledge that he is consistently striving to be a good person. It is a peace of mind that comes from living in alignment with his own highest values. To build this indestructible confidence, you must shift your focus from external metrics to internal character. The first actionable step is to redefine winning. Your goal should no longer be to get the promotion, but to be the most virtuous and effective employee you can be. Your goal is not to win the argument, but to act with wisdom and justice during the disagreement. Focus on your effort, not the outcome. The second step is to keep a character journal. At the end of each day, write down one instance where you acted in alignment with your core virtues, especially when it was hard. This builds a portfolio of evidence of your own good character. The third step is to embrace challenges as a testing ground. See every difficult situation as a chance to prove your character to yourself. The man who builds his confidence on this foundation becomes truly unshakable. He can face failure, criticism, and loss without it shattering his sense of self, because his self is not invested in those things. He moves with a calm, humble, and powerful assurance that is not arrogant, but is deeply rooted in the knowledge of his own integrity. This is the most authentic and respected form of confidence a man can possess. Your practice exercise is to list 3 of your recent accomplishments. Now, rewrite them, not in terms of the external result, but in terms of the internal character traits you demonstrated. For example, instead of "I got the promotion," write "I demonstrated discipline and persistence for 6 months." Ground your achievements in your character. This deep, character-based confidence, forged through resilience and discipline, leads to the ultimate and final habit of the unshakable man. It is not something he seeks, but something that arises as a natural consequence of his way of life. This is the habit of inner peace, the final and greatest power of all. Please like this video and subscribe to Stoic Power as we arrive at the culmination of our journey. Lesson 10: Inner Peace. As final power. Consider a perfectly still and clear pond high in the mountains. Its surface is like glass, flawlessly reflecting the vast blue sky and the eternal stars. It does not strive to be powerful. Its power lies in its absolute stillness and clarity. From this state of peace, everything can be seen as it truly is. This is the ultimate state of the emotionally unshakable man. For our entire lives, we are caught in a great inner conflict, a frantic chase for things we believe will finally bring us peace and happiness. More money, more status, more achievements, more love. We believe that power comes from acquiring these external things. The fundamental problem is that this is a race that can never be won. The pursuit of external things is an endless and exhausting treadmill. The more you acquire, the more you fear losing, and the peace you seek remains forever on the horizon. This chase is not the path to power. It is the definition of slavery to things outside of your control. The final, transformative solution is the most profound shift in perspective of all. It is the habit of understanding that inner peace is not the prize you win at the end of the race. Inner peace is the power. It is the starting point, the foundation, and the very source of all effective, wise, and virtuous action. The core idea, which represents the culmination of all Stoic teaching, is that a state of tranquility and clarity, what the Greeks called ataraxia, is the highest good a human can achieve. This is not a passive, sleepy state. It is a state of supreme readiness and strength. The man who has a peaceful heart and a clear mind can see the world as it is, without the distortion of fear, greed, or ego. He can make perfect decisions, act with courage, and respond to any situation with grace, because he is not being controlled by inner turmoil. His peace is his power. This final habit is not about learning a new technique, but about integrating all the others into a seamless way of being. The first step is to practice gratitude for stillness. Actively appreciate the moments of quiet and peace in your day, however small. See them not as boring, but as sacred. The second step is to let go. Practice consciously releasing your obsessive grip on the outcomes you cannot control. Do your best, and then let the universe handle the rest. The third step is to simply be. Find moments to stop doing and just exist, to feel your connection to the world from a place of quiet contentment rather than striving ambition. By making inner peace your ultimate priority, you will paradoxically become more effective and powerful in the external world than you ever were when you chased power directly. You will be free from the anxieties and fears that paralyze others. You will possess a clarity of thought that is a superpower in a distracted world. You will radiate a calm, confident energy that will draw people and opportunities to you without effort. Your final call to action is to make a promise to yourself. For the next week, your primary goal is not to achieve more, but to protect your inner peace above all else. Before making any decision, ask yourself this one question: will this action bring me closer to inner peace, or will it take me further away? Let that be your guide. This is the ultimate habit of the unshakable man. He is a warrior, yes, but his greatest victory was the one he won over himself. His final power is the quiet, indestructible peace he carries within his own steady heart. We have walked the tenfold path of the unshakable man, from cultivating a steady heart to achieving the final power of inner peace. These are not mere tricks, but habits of character that, when practiced daily, will forge you into a man of profound strength, confidence, and quiet composure. Thank you for dedicating your time to this journey of self-mastery. If this guide has provided you with value, please show your support by liking the video, commenting with the habit you will start today, and subscribing to the Stoic Power channel for more life-changing wisdom.